I think the point that we talk a lot about around simplification should be at the core of this. The need for better experiences, better outcomes for customers, whether they're consumer or business, and the expectation on financial services in all of that is going to increase. So that's one thing. I think we're learning that everything can be digitized, right down to human interaction, decisions that are made, sometimes very big decisions, recommendations that are given to clients. A lot of these things that we would have expected pre-pandemic to be, as a result of physical presence, conversation, and more traditional ways of decision making can now be digitized and automated. So I think that trend has started. The ship has begun to sail out of the harbour, if you like, and we'll see an evolving of that, and obviously the opportunities that will be afforded by capabilities like Web3 and the metaverse are really going to accelerate all of that, particularly as we see the influence of younger consumers coming through and banks and FSIs more generally reacting to those emerging trends. There are lots of technical capabilities that we're seeing spun up around data, the onset in the future of quantum computing and what that means to decision making, portfolio management, etc. These things are going to be sped up. Decisions are going to be more accurate. They're going to happen real time. Oftentimes the decisions and recommendations are going to happen without human interaction. And I think that provides a huge opportunity and also some risk as well. The other thing that I would say really here is that there's a big social trend around financial services, which is typically, if you look back, people don't necessarily get excited about banking. It's not a particularly, engaging part of most people's lives. I think I saw a report recently where one of the bank CEOs was saying, if only we could make people happy when they open their bank statement. And reality is none of us really are, because it never says quite what you want it to say. But what banks are striving to do actually is involve the consumer and the business more in financial services, more in what happens in the background, and put more of the control to them so that they're more empowered to make decisions, to make their own recommendations and to follow their own path. The last thing I would say is that, we've post COP26, we've got a big trend that's hitting the world and the industry now, of course, around sustainability. And I think that actually financial services has a massive role to play in the success of us moving the narrative globally around sustainability, how businesses are run, and of course, how they borrow money, how they invest money, how they reward employees, how they run their businesses, sustainability from a hybrid perspective, from an investing perspective, from a lending perspective. And, if we'd had this discussion maybe a couple of years ago, I do think the industry was struggling to work out outside of investing what exactly sustainability would mean to it. And I think now with Mark Carney's leadership and post COP26 and what we're seeing governmentally across the world, we're recognizing that financial services has a big role to play. And we're working with organizations like NatWest Group to surface that and, to help them using our platform, cloud and data capabilities to understand more about their customers, their business, how they lend, and what responsible really looks like in that world, and the role that they play in helping the world to a better and more sustainable place in terms of financial services. So a lot to think about, a lot to play with, some of it technical, some of it more social and of course global in the sense when you talk about sustainability. But I think the trends that we're already starting to see will accelerate over the next few years. And in most areas, data at the key from a technology perspective.